Bluesboyjag here. Yet another 4-string cigar box guitar lesson R.L. Burnside licks. I've been getting a lot of people requesting R.L. Burnside licks off and on for many years, but seems like recently I've had a whole bunch of people say R.L. Burnside, R.L. Burnside. So I think a lot of people are being turned on to R.L. Burnside who maybe weren't familiar with him before. I don't really know. But here we go. We're tuned to open G. That's an A string down to G. This is, by the way, some people have been asking me, is this the Keith Richards tuning? It is, except it's only 4 strings. So this is an A string down to G, a D string to normal to D, a 3rd string G to normal to G, and a 2nd string B to normal to B. That's all from a 6-string guitar. 5, 4, 3, 2 strings. And yes, this is the Keith Richards tuning. But we're not going to do Keith Richards licks this time. It's going to be R.L. Burnside. First thing we're going to do is get the right hand going. You want to start with the up. So when you do a shuffle, I'm using my thumb and first finger. First finger does this when I strum up, and my thumb strums down like that. Another thing I do is I use my 3rd or pinky finger to anchor onto the guitar. If I'm playing fast, I probably won't do that too much, but if I'm playing more of a slower song, I'm using my pinky, and that pinky kind of bounces off the guitar, and it gives me that flexibility. So that pinky is sort of keeping everything steady here because it's touching the body of the guitar. Now, over here, on the right hand, R.L. does a whole lot of slide ups. He'll pause for a split second. I'm just using my first finger here on the 2nd string, sliding up from the 2nd fret to the 3rd fret. So I'm plucking the top 3 strings, but I'm pausing slightly. If you speed up, you'll get to the point where you can pretty much slide up at the same time you're strumming. I'm sort of accenting that slide up, and I'm overemphasizing that pause there because R.L. does it pretty fast. For instance, that's Poor Black Matty, and I'm doing an up strum on that 1st string, and I'm strumming more than just that 1st string. It doesn't really matter if you strum all 4 or just that 1. Now I'm choking with that hand, and that's real important. So let's work on that for a second. Starting with the up strum, and when I do that last down strum, I'm muting right after I do that last chord. Remember, I'm starting on the up strum. Real slow. I'm only using my first finger on the 1st string, 2nd fret, sliding up to the 3rd fret. Only my first finger is fretting. And I'm choking everything with that fretting hand. Here's another one. Notice how I'm putting that entire choke in there, choking all the strings. I'm just sliding from 2 to 3 individually on the 1st string, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Notice how the fretting hand is doing the choking. because I'm strumming with the right hand. And there's your choke. I'm not fretting anything. That's just open, all 4 strings open, no fingers on them at all. Now we can add more notes. The trick here is that I'm muting with the fretting hand. First string, 5th fret to 3rd fret. Muting with the fretting hand, real important. All I'm doing is just relaxing my hand, so once I play that note, I immediately lift the finger up, and not off the string, but just up. So I'm letting that string come back up off the fretboard, so that kills the note. Third finger, 5th fret. First finger, 3rd fret. 3rd finger, 2nd string, 5th fret. And so forth. So, poor Black Maddie. The only string and the only finger is the first finger. And I'm fretting on the first string at first. Then I'm jumping to the 2nd string on that 3rd fret. I'm only fretting 1 string at a time. The choke is real critical. And I'm just doing a regular strum here. It looks like I have a pick. I'm pretending like I do. But I'm using my fingers because I like to do a lot of this stuff, and I like to do a lot of this stuff, where I'm using my thumb and my first 2 fingers, and I'm anchoring with my pinky, not using my 3rd finger at all. So I do a lot of that stuff too. Choking here. So I'm going to do an exercise here. We're going to slide up on the first string, and then the 2nd, and then the 3rd, and then the 4th. So you start out slow, and what I'm doing is sliding up the instant that I'm strumming. You can also pause like that if you want, but for now we're doing it almost immediately. So practice that a whole lot over and over. Notice the right hand. That's all I'm doing. Now we're just muting that open chord. I'm doing an up strum with my first finger, choking with the fretting hand. Another thing I like to do is a backward slide. So I'd go down from, let's say, first string, 3rd fret, to 2, down to 0, and then I'd do the same thing on the 2nd string. Sometimes I switch it. I might do this and do that on the 2nd. So I'm sliding down and going up on the 2nd string. And you can do that for all 4 strings, alternating between. There's just all sorts of different things you can do. Okay, one more thing I'm going to show you here. 2 string slide up. first and second string from the 2nd fret to the 3rd fret. I'm doing an upstroke with my right first finger. And then I'm going to go down to open. Sliding 2 strings this time instead of 1. Now if I move my nail back here closer to the bridge, I'll get a brighter tone. It takes a little bit of practice to get the fretting hand to do the muting, but it's critical to get that RL Burnside sound. You got to do that. So I haven't shown you any scales. These are mainly just licks. For instance, 5, 3, 0. Okay, one last thing. I know I said one last thing about 5 minutes ago. First finger strumming with a nail. Real slow. I'm just using that first finger. It looks like I'm using all 4, but I'm not. Up close, you see the tip of my finger doing the up, and the nail is doing the downstroke. I'm closing my hand here so you can really see what's happening. Most of the time I don't close my hand when I'm doing this. And down here I'm just kind of randomizing it. 2nd fret. And I'm using my 2nd finger here to go to the 3rd string, 3rd fret. Don't forget, if you want to get brighter tone, move all the way back here to the bridge. And don't forget choking with the fretting hand. One more thing. One more thing. He always says one more thing. Okay, 1st string, 3rd fret. On the 1st finger, I'm only pressing down that 1 string. 3rd fret, and then I'm muting with these 3 fingers. Then I'm going to jump to the 2nd, and the 3rd, and the 4th. Choking with the fretting hand. Mickey, 2 frets up, why not? It doesn't really matter almost which notes you play. If you play a wrong note, slide up. So this whole lesson is 1 chord. G. I suppose you could probably argue and get real technical and say that that's a certain chord right there, which I'm pretty sure that's a 7th, or that one. All right, I'm going to leave you with a little jam here. I almost never use any of these other fingers down here. I probably should one of these days. But mainly my first finger. Looks like I'm using all fingers, but it's just my first finger doing an upstrum. With that, please subscribe and check out my new website, bluesboyjag.com. Cigar box guitars for 21 years. And we'll see you next time. Oh yeah, please subscribe. Did I say that? Please subscribe.